Good morning, and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. You know I love to get your day started off on the right foot. And to help me with that, I have an inspiring quote today from Leo Buscaglia, who said, "Don't brood, get on with living and loving. You don't have forever." I love that sentiment. You know why? Life's too short to get caught up on the what ifs. You have to take the next step now. There are scriptures to back this up, by the way. Here are just a few. Isaiah 43:18. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Psalm 32:8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Proverbs 4:25. Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Why are there so many scriptures about moving forward? Well, I believe it's because God knows that we kind of stop dead in our tracks, paralyzed by the memories of failures. And we feel like we've discounted ourselves from moving forward, like we're not worthy of the future. But you are worthy of the present and the future because of Christ. Hey, he thought an awful lot about you to die for you. So no matter how bad you feel about your past, that is the past. It's done, it's over, can't nothing be done about it. You can move forward. Don't be paralyzed by the old you anymore, because you are a new creation and you are moving forward in Christ. I hope that inspires you today. I don't want you stopping dead in your tracks, stagnant, just sitting there, because there's a big life left to live. So keep moving forward, okay? Hey, I've been there before. I've needed this pep talk. So let's do this thing together. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Well, if you're introverted, this whole living around other people and doing life together, well, it can kind of be a little stressful, right? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, specifically between those two ears. Yeah, I know. I'm right there with you. I feel the same way. And I've got a little funny story to share with you coming up about that, with a little bit of, well, a good ending. I hope you'll stick around and hear it. This whole living around other people thing is hard, isn't it? I mean, come on. Sometimes you just want to be by yourself. I came across this thing on the socials and I just had to share it with you. It's a video and it's a little animation. Got a chicken nugget on there and he's a sad chicken nugget. And he says, "Don't you hate when someone asks you if you exercise?" I mean, like, yeah, I jump to conclusions literally all the time. And if that's not cardio, then why is my heart racing? Or how about when they always say, "Oh, you have anxiety? That must be so heavy." Yeah, it is. And I carry it with me everywhere I go. And if that's not strength training, then I don't know what is. I know life is tough. You know what? We have got to set off that anxiety, like a weight off of our shoulders. The Bible says to do it like that. And I know it's not that easy. I deal with anxiety myself. But we can find a way to focus our attention on our Father. And there's something about that brings us a peace that passes all understanding when you know He's got you, regardless of your circumstances, regardless if you're having a panic attack and you feel like you're about to pass away. He's got you. I mean, come on, threaten me with heaven, right? Just remember that today. God's got you right in the palm of His hand. There's no reason to be anxious. There's no reason to jump to conclusions. Watch Him work in your life. We're in this thing together. So let's keep moving forward. It's riding with the windows down on the way into work weather today, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's 66 degrees right now in Scottsboro and Bluentsville, 67 right now in Coleman, and here in Guntersville, we are kissing that 70-degree mark. It is gorgeous, sunshine, blue sky. It's going to be an amazing day. I hope you're having a great one so far. Your forecast is brought to you by Bonds Appliance at 1415 Gunner Avenue in Guntersville, offering sales and service on not just home appliances, but lawn and garden tools, too. Their number is 256-582-8408. Now your word of life. Today from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. But you are not like that. For you are a chosen people. You are royal priests, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for He called you out of the darkness into His wonderful light. Wow, and you can share that light with some people today. Why don't you start the conversation by sharing that word of life? We've got it ready for you across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and it's always at the top of our website. Again, it's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Now, some more great music for you. I see you, Atlanta, Georgia, hanging out with us. You too, Joel Modest, down in Palm Coast, Florida. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. And you too, whether you're listening to us on the stream or the radio. Watching old black and white TV shows, like the Andy Griffith Show, or I don't know, maybe I Love Lucy. Well, sometimes in there, you'll hear them talking about going out for dinner. And when they say they're going out for dinner, it's always kind of confused me because they're saying they're going to go to dinner at like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, what? Is that how it normally was back then? Hey, I wonder, what time do you have dinner? Do you have it around 6, or do you have it a little earlier, maybe around 5 or even 4 o'clock? Well, believe it or not, there's a growing trend right now across America. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it and why we might be getting to that dinner table just a little earlier than in years past. It's for a really good reason. We'll have some fun with it. So stick around. We'll get into it after Maverick City music. From the year 1960 to 1968, you could watch that show live. No reruns, right? Well, now it's all reruns and we still love watching it. Why is that? Well, because of the wholesome values, I think, that came across that TV screen. We weren't having to worry about what our kids were seeing because they were learning life lessons that could really do them good, right? Yeah, but there's one thing I noticed while watching the Andy Griffith Show when I was a kid, and that is that whenever they would go to dinner, they'd set up a date. Well, it was usually around 8 o'clock. And I'm thinking, really? 8 o'clock for dinner? Don't you think that's a little late? Is that the way it used to be? Well, these days, the trend is that dinner is getting earlier and earlier. And I get it. There's so many reasons why. One, I've got an 8-year-old and she keeps us hopping with volleyball practice. Like tonight, I think it's at 5:30. So we'll probably eat at like 4:30. It's going to be kind of weird, right? But it's a growing trend across the nation for so many reasons. And I looked at the scientific research that went behind this. And without boring you with the facts and figures, I'll just tell you this. More and more people are working hybridly, meaning they're working at home and in the office. So on those days they're working at home, they can get away from the house a little earlier. And it makes sense to want to get away from the house. If that's where you're working, you got to have a little bit of a break, right? So going to dinner a little earlier is trending. Well, another reason why is because these restaurants, well, they're usually booked up the later you go. If you go earlier, you're much more apt to get a seat without having to wait. So that's another. Here's one more, especially for those date nights. When you go out to the theater, you've noticed this before. I know when you go to a matinee, it's a lot cheaper than going to one of the feature showings late at night. So that's another reason. So that is why Gen Z and the boomers are kind of together on this. Everybody's going to dinner just a little bit earlier. And hey, that can be a really good thing. So I wonder, what time do you eat dinner? Is it earlier or is it later? Now, have you given much thought as to why that is? Well, something to think about, right? Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Well, I wonder, do you have a little one in your life? No, maybe not a kid. Maybe it's a nephew or a niece. How special are they to you? I'm going to share a little heartwarming exchange of text messages between a nephew and his aunt and uncle. You're going to love this. Stick around. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dad and mom, well, they're fine, but they're every day, right? On the weekends, I would get away and I would go see my granny. And you see, it was a fun time had by all because my aunt was there too, and she is awesome. Do you have a fun aunt or a fun uncle? Well, let me tell you about my experience. She would take me to work with her. She worked at the Domino's in Hartselle, so I got to make pizzas. It was a blast. I remember too, it was years ago, back when they had the big Spirit of America festival, when it was huge with the beauty pageant and all that at Point Mallard. I got to go with her that year, and it was a blast. I love spending time with my aunt. And I came across a story of a 7-year-old who is really loving his aunt and uncle as well. In fact, it's his aunt who posted this up on Reddit and said there was a tornado in town, and our 7-year-old nephew messaged my husband to make sure we were safe. We are watching him and his sisters next weekend, and they're very excited. Now, she goes on to say that this kid is the most thoughtful and compassionate kid I know. And here is the interaction on text message that took place that's going to warm your heart. He writes, I was scared of the storm. Are you okay? Are you scared of storms? Love you. I can't wait to see you next weekend. Can we bring our iPad? To which they responded, I love you too, buddy. I'm not scared of them, but I think most people are. He responded back, you are my best friends. And they said, you're our best friend too. Oh, I love it. It's so innocent. You have got to love that kind of stuff. It just brings joy to your life. Now, maybe you have a nephew or a niece, one of those little ones in your life that brings you joy like that. Hey, enjoy while they're young. Oh my goodness. It is so good. Hey, I'm living with an 8-year-old right now who's lighting up my life every day. So, hey, those little ones, they bring a lot of joy, don't they? I hope that warmed your heart. That particular post on Reddit got 60,000 upvotes. That is crazy. So many people are relating to it because we need some joy in our lives. You know what I mean? Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. What is the next level right after successful? Is there another? Is there something above that you can tap into? Actually, yes, there is. I'm going to let Tony Robbins tell you what it is and how to get there. He's pretty good with stuff like that. Stick around. Have you found yourself at a plateau? You're kind of there on the edge of success. It's like, hey, I feel like I've made it. I feel like I've come so far. I've learned so much. I'm doing so much better for myself and for my family. Did you know there's more? Yeah, I'll tell you more about that with the help of Tony Robbins after Blanca and Torrin Wells with Something Better right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Okay, I feel like I kind of need to preface this whole break because, I might come across as being somebody who says, you got to go for it. You got to push harder. You got to go to the next level. When this whole life is not necessarily about success in the business world. It's not necessarily about having this, that, and the other. No, it's more about relationships. Believe me, I get that. But I know that God can use you at an elevated state. If you're achieving all this stuff, God can use your success to bless others. So coming at it from that perspective, I want to share with you the sentiment that Tony Robbins shared. And I love that he puts this stuff up on TikTok. It is so good. Here, take a listen to this. It's all about what's next.
There's always more. And if you find that more, the rewards are beyond your wildest imagination. But I'll tell you the good news. People went from poor to good. I can't make another jump like that. You don't have to. All the rewards are just 2 millimeters above in a place called outstanding, ladies and gentlemen. When you're outstanding, you're just 2 millimeters above everybody else, but it's where all the rewards are. The love, the joy, the happiness, the financial freedom, what Jerry Maguire called the Quan. It's all there. But it's there. It's like life is testing you. You say you're giving your all. It's like God saying, let's see if you mean it. And you fight and push you back, and it pushes you back and pushes you back. But if you keep going no matter what, and you won't settle, and you keep pushing, you will break through. And when you get to be outstanding, you get everything you've dreamed of. And here's what's so crazy. You're only a tiny bit better than everyone else on earth. And if you can do that, the rewards are totally insane. And if you give up, the pain is incredibly insane. Because you have to settle for a life far less than you deserve or you desire. So it's finding that edge.
I love how the Bible talks about this, about God kind of propelling his people forward. And it talks about his children having witty inventions. It talks about how God is the God of more than enough, and he wants to see us succeed. He's with us every step of the way. So all I'm saying is tap into what he has for you. Ask him to give you the wisdom needed to take the next step, to go to the next level. Ask him to be in the middle of it, to help you do this, to make the right connections, to be in the right headspace, and to see a path forward. And guess what? He'll do it. But the question is, how dedicated are you going to be to that? That's what it comes down to. But with God, all things are possible. So, hey, I hope you make it to the next level. Reach that level of outstanding so that you can be a bigger blessing to the people around you and to your world. You can make a bigger impact. So keep going, okay? Hey, I'm here with you. I'm along for the ride. Here's Melissa Helser with Revivals in the Air right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. So I'm trying to adjust to this change. There is an app that I use, and sometimes I pull it up on my desktop, right? And in my tabs, I'm always looking for that familiar logo, but that logo is not there anymore. Wow, it's phasing out. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but instead of a bird, there just happens to be a letter. We'll talk more about it. Coming up here in the next few minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about what this billionaire is up to these days. Let's see. I just did a little Google search on who is the richest person in the world. Well, it is Elon Musk. So $236.5 billion, that's his current net worth. But what is he doing with Twitter? What's up with that? Let's talk a little bit about it. Coming up next, and how it's changing? Yeah. At 52 years old, his net worth sits at $236.5 billion US, and he owns companies or has something to do with, well, these: SpaceX, Twitter, xAI, The Boring Company, Neuralink Corporation, Zip2, OpenAI, Tesla, SolarCity, and PayPal. Who am I talking about? Well, that's Elon Musk. Yep, he took over Twitter a while back, and there have been a lot of changes. I wonder if you noticed one on your desktop. If you ever open up Twitter on your computer, you're going to notice in that top tab that bird is gone. Yeah, the Twitter logo is out of here. No more bluebirds there. No, it's an X. It's weird. You can even type in x.com and find Twitter right there. Why is this? What exactly is going on? Well, I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to bring it to you to kind of keep you in the know as to what's happening with maybe which one of your favorite social media apps. So, this is one of the most visible changes to Twitter since he took control of the social media company last fall, replacing that logo. You see, in a tweet early Sunday morning, he said that soon we shall bid adieu to the Twitter brand and gradually all the birds. About 24 hours later, a stylized black and white X appeared on the company's website in place of that blue bird logo. And their corporate accounts at Twitter also adopted the new branding. An X is a term for what Mr. Musk has described as the everything app that could combine social media, instant messaging, and payment services, kind of like that popular Chinese app called WeChat. So we'll see what happens with this, but he said this change should have been made months ago. Sorry it took so long, but I guess we've just got to embrace this. If you enjoy Twitter, well, it's got a new look, a new feel, a little fresh, a little modern, sure, but everybody knows the bird, you know? It's branding 101. I mean, look at the icons on the other websites at the tab on the top of your desktop, right? Or just take a look at the signs as you ride along 431. Yeah. I mean, McDonald's, the Golden Arches, nobody's changed that. You know it's McDonald's. They don't even have McDonald's on some of those signs. It's just the Golden Arches. You know exactly what it is. Arby's with their big hat. It's huge, right? So we'll see where this really takes Twitter. I'm not sure. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Just wanted to kind of keep you in the know as to what's going on. It's 8 o'clock. You know what that means. It's time for some kid cuisine. Our kids, they're home for the summer break. Now, I know it's almost over. Sad times, right? But while they're at the house, they get bored, they get hungry, and those two things don't mix very well in the kitchen all the time. Now, sometimes you've got some pretty tasty concoctions that come out of the kitchen. Other times you have culinary crimes. Yeah, I don't know what you think today's is, but let me tell you what the recipe is. Okay, so you know how you're in the kitchen, you really want a sandwich, but you look and there's no bread. So you grab an alternative. So what are you grabbing instead of a loaf of bread? Well, how about a pack of ramen? Yeah, that dry pack, the square dry pack of ramen noodles. You grab that, take your butter knife, get you a big old slathering of peanut butter and just spread it across there. And there you go. You can even put jelly on there if you want to, because that ramen, it acts kind of like bread and it's crunchy. It brings a little extra texture to the recipe. So there you go. If you're ever in a bind for bread, just get you a pack of ramen and slather it up. Now, whether or not you use the flavor packet is completely up to you. I don't think chicken flavor would go well with peanut butter. I'm just saying, but hey, don't knock it till you try it, right? What's your kid's favorite concoction to build in the kitchen? I wish that you would go on over to our Facebook page and tell me. It's pinned at the top, the Kid Cuisine segment, that whole post. All you need to do is go down there and comment. You can post a picture of it and tell us a story about one of those that your kid has come up with. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it all summer long, and I hope you'll get involved. All right, tell you what, I've got one more song, and then your chance to win a family 4-pack to Point Mallard Water Park. Ooh, yeah, it's going to be fun. I hope you're here. I hope you win right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. It's time. Yep, I'm giving away a family 4-pack to Point Mallard in Decatur. You've got to be able to answer my question this morning, but doesn't that sound like fun? A water park? They've got a lazy river. They've got a wave pool. They've got slides. They've got all kinds of stuff for you to make memories with. Yeah, and it's not too far away either. So a family 4-pack up for grabs right now. Here we go. Your question. This is going to land you those if you get it right. How does a lady duck pick her boyfriend? Is it A, the shape of his bill, B, the color of his eyes, or C, how well he can dance? The number to call is 256-505-0885. Again, the question one more time. How does a lady duck pick her boyfriend? Is it by A, the shape of his bill, B, the color of his eyes, or C, how well he can dance? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Waiting on your call right now. 256-505-0885. 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I'm just sitting here in the studio having a good time trying to give away some Point Mallard Water Park passes. Would you happen to be calling because of that?
I am.
Oh, all right. Well, So what are you up to today? What's in your plans? Let's get to know a little bit more about Trina.
Hey, I'm just working.
All right. Remind us all where you work.
I drive a truck, a dump truck.
Really?
Yeah,
You enjoy that job?
I really do.
I'm glad you do. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, let's see if we might be able to give you some Point Mallard Water Park passes. I got this question right here. Now, there's a lot to look for in a man, but when it comes to ducks, how does a lady duck pick her boyfriend? Is it by the shape of his bill? Is it by the color of his eyes? Or is it by how well he can dance?
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm guessing.
All right.
I'm thinking is it the way he dances?
It sure is.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. A family 4-pack of tickets to Point Mallard. So who are you taking with you?
I want to take my granddaughter, Kaylin.
Oh, very cool. That's going to be a great time. I hope y'all have a blast. All right, let me grab your address real quick, and I'll get these sent your way.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed day. I listen to you all the time.
Oh, thank you.
I just love listening. It lifts my spirits every day. It just makes my day better, and it brings me closer to God to hear the music and to be able to sing and worship Him every day.
Oh, Trina, that makes me so happy. Our slogan around here is making your day better, and it sounds like we're doing an okay job.
You are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You as well. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
How cool is that? Trina Clift, congratulations again on the family 4-pack of tickets to Point Mallard. And hey, you know what? You could win just like she did on Thursday, or, you could stick around and on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, right after Kid Cuisine, that's tomorrow, by the way, you could win a Lake Winnie family 4-pack. Yeah, Lake Winnipesaukee. They've got an amusement park and a water park there, and it's all together combined. So you just never know. You could win just about any day right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Thanks for making us part of your summer. Did you know moms are the holders? But what are they holding? I want you to stick around and find out. It's a good story. Moms are the holders. This is from Elizabeth Spencer. She says, we hold our babies. We hold our big kids. We hold them in morning's earliest hours and night's deepest hours. We hold them when they're crying. We hold them when they're scared. We hold them when their hearts are broken, while our own hearts break too. We hold hands. We hold them crossing the street. We hold them walking into a new classroom. We hold them waiting to see what will happen, what the news will be. We hold them in celebration. We hold them to comfort and reassure. We hold stuff. We hold diaper bags and backpacks and sports equipment and dance costumes and coats and band instruments and water bottles. We hold our breath. We hold it waiting for the pregnancy test to turn or for a call from the adoption agency We hold it waiting to hear a heartbeat. We hold it while we watch to see if they make the basket or score the goal or hit the note or get the letter or pass the test. We hold it while we look for the text or the headlights in the driveway. We hold secrets. We hold our children's untold stories and unshared struggles. We hold what we know about them that no one else knows. We hold surprises. We can't wait for them to know that they got the part or they're getting that Christmas gift they put at the top of their list. We hold knowledge. We hold insider information about where things are and who likes and dislikes what and what our kids are afraid of. We hold the answers to all the questions on the endless medical forms. And we hold dreams, but we hold back. We hold our tongues and our opinions. We hold ourselves at arm's length so our kids can try on their own, but also be caught if they fall too far. We hold our worries and uncertainties and disappointments to ourselves. We hold hope. We hold to our beliefs in who our children are and can be. We hold on for new days, better days. We hold out for the improbable, the impossible. And we hold hearts. We hold their hearts. We hold them in our hearts. I love that. Mom, you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. You are loved and appreciated. And if that touched your heart, I want to tell you where you can find it. I just posted it on our 88.5 JFM's Come Together Facebook group. Go check it out and maybe share it with a special mom in your life. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Well, sometimes you're out on the roadways, you find yourself in a bind, and you got to use that car horn. But do you have a strong horn, or is it really weak? Does it sound kind of like a bicycle horn? We'll hear from one lady who has a weak one next. Out there on the roadways, it can be kind of hard to be heard if you've got a really tiny horn. It doesn't help that you feel invisible out there on the road in the first place. I mean, sure, you might even be in an SUV, but for some reason, people decide to just cut you off in traffic. Yep, they do stupid things sometimes, and here you are wondering, what did I do wrong? Do I deserve this? Don't worry, that's the way it is out there. You got to be careful. You got to show a little bit of grace, a little bit of mercy, and don't get the road rage, because that road rage can take you into pretty bad spaces. Gina actually got on TikTok recently, and she had something to say about her car horn for when she needs to make a statement. And yeah, oh my goodness. I wonder if you can relate with this.
I have a problem. This is what my horn sounds like. There's nothing menacing about that. There's no warnings you can give about that. I almost got hit because the woman backing out, even though I was clearly behind her, did not see me, did not hear that horn until I did this. How am I supposed to fix that? I need a horn with power. I need a horn that sends a message. Ugh, this is awful.
Frustrated. I get it, Gina. Well, I've got some options for you. You can always go with, I don't know, maybe something with a little more power. Because what you have right now kind of sounds like, you know, one of those hand horns. Sounds like that. So we need to upgrade you. Maybe to one like this. I think that would definitely get the message across. Or we could go with this one here. Yeah. There are modifications that can be made to your horn. I just want to make sure that you know that. And you can find some pretty cool stuff out there. I even found a Auga horn over at Harbor Freight. You can check that out too. But what does that sound like? A little something like this. There you go. That will get the attention too, right? You need the tools to be effective out there. I understand. But let's be honest. If Gina had a more powerful horn, would it be a good thing, or do you think it would get her in trouble more than anything else? One of those things, right? That's why I stick to this rule. Little mercy, little grace goes a long way out there, because people are crazy. So please, drive with caution. Here's Jason Crabb. Good morning, Mercy, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show, and I hope you're having a great morning so far. Thanks for hanging out with me. Got an hour of show left. We're going to have some fun. Stick around. The countdown is on to the first day of school. How are you handling this? Are you jumping for joy? Or you're like, yes, the kids get to go. I get to be by myself at the house again. I don't have to keep the pantry stocked for every waking hour of the day because, they're hungry. They're bored. I get it. But, is there anything you're not looking forward to about the school year? Yeah, I bet there's one thing that involves your vehicle and the kids and the schoolhouse. Stick around. We'll talk a little bit about the car line coming up next. Samantha, she has a way with words, and this is what she had to say. There are few things I really look forward to as summer winds down and the school year ramps back up. Predictable schedules and kid-free mornings bring a welcomed shift in lifestyle and stress level after my kid-centered, fun-filled summer. The transition also comes with some dread, though. Packing lunches, managing homework, and keeping the school event calendar for starters. But the most dreaded, the thing I look forward to the least about the back-to-school transition is the place where all adult sanity goes to die. The school drop-off line. Like the kids say, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, I'm here to tell you, it's a circus. First of all, parents start lining up their cars for this thing long before the doors open. I'm talking about Taylor Swift, Eras Tour, merch table kind of arrival times. And for what? There's certainly no award for being first in the building, and you still end up waiting, trapped in your car with your likely tired and not super happy child until a teacher waves the okay for kids to come in. I'll never understand it. I mostly swoop in at the last seconds and avoid all the rush and hoopla. My kid's still on time. And let's talk about the general refusal by so many drivers to follow the drop-off rules. Rules that are repeated in open houses and over emails and in letters sent home. It's not fine print. In fact, most of it is just general logic and courtesy, but somehow it doesn't get through. I watch as people who definitely otherwise follow the general rules of the road throw caution and manners to the wind as they cut people off and double park in a furious and frustrated rush to ensure their kids' timely school arrival. I personally would prefer a tardy over a dented bumper, but maybe that's just me. Everyone seemingly juggles a few things at once, one hand on the steering wheel, the other clutching their phone, pedal to the metal as if they're on call as a heart surgeon racing to the hospital for an emergency procedure. Like drop-off is just another thing in the way of their personal productivity. And I get it, people who completely disregard the rules annoy me too. I'm an accountability junkie and I too want them to pay. But wow, some people get overly triggered by this whole scenario. I'm just gonna stop right there. Because if you've ever been in the drop-off line before, most of what she's saying is true. I've watched people get frustrated. I've watched people do questionable things in the car drop-off line. And yes, they don't pay attention to the rules. I understand. I do. That's the reason why we do this little thing here at the station called the Car Line Competition. We try to bring a little sanity. We try to bring a little happiness to the car line, to the drop-off in the mornings. I figure, well, I've already got a captive audience in their cars around the 7 o'clock hour, so we ask you questions and we give you prizes. We get your kid excited about going to school. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, my kid can't wait to listen to the car line competition. They want to play. They want to try to win some gift cards. And it is coming back very, very soon. So, I know, there's a lot to be frustrated about, but maybe we can get our mind on other things. Maybe we can have a little more fun in the drop-off line. Maybe we can change it. What do you think? Yeah? We'll be listening. I'll be giving you chances to win gift cards coming up as the school year approaches. So keep those eyes and ears peeled, okay? One thing I look forward to as a kid was the spelling bee. But what if husbands had a bee? What would it be called? Maybe it would be the Remember Bee. I'm going to share what that would sound like coming up next, so stick around. I think it'll make you chuckle. I just need to say this up front. Us guys, we are very complex individuals. I know, ladies, sometimes y'all come off as being the more complex, but honestly, it's weird. It's strange. We kind of compartmentalize things in our brains, right? We can put things in boxes. And sometimes we just go box by box. It's hard to pull out 2 or 3 boxes at the same time. So if we're focused on something and you tell us something while we're focused on that thing, Lots of times we're not going to retain that. And I know you try to combat that. You try to make sure that we can remember by reminding us. Thank you for the reminders. They really help. Sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. And I know it's a point of frustration for you. So let me say on behalf of all men everywhere, we are sorry for forgetting. Very much so. We apologize. Now, I think something that could help us guys is if there were such a test, maybe a competition, because you know us guys, we get pretty competitive. Yeah. If this were a real thing, it might actually help. You know how kids have the spelling bee? What if us husbands had the remember bee? What would that sound like? Well, maybe something like this.
On Tuesday, your wife informed you about dinner plans for this Saturday. Who are those plans with and what time?
Can you say it in a sentence?
Quote, we are meeting blank at blank for dinner.
Since Tuesday, how many times has she reminded me?
That would be 5 times.
We are going to meet Ricky and Annette at 6.
I didn't say we'd win it. I just said it might be good if we had it. Then again, maybe it's not such a good idea. On days like today, I can hear that lake calling my name. I love getting out there. Hey, I hope you've had a chance to get out and enjoy Lake Gunnersville recently. Right now, we're all in the 80s across North Alabama. Tons of sunshine and blue skies. And hey, if you're going to be out there for a long time, maybe go ahead and put on some sunscreen. Protect that skin, right? Hey, your forecast is brought to you by Bobby Buckman at First Choice Painting, LLC, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. His phone number is 256-477-3537. He's on Facebook, and his new office location is at 712 East Laurel Street in Scottsboro. Now your word of life. Today from 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. But you are not like that, for you are a chosen people. You are royal priests, a holy nation, God's very own possession. As a result, you can show others the goodness of God, for he called you out of the darkness into his wonderful light. Yes, he did. I'm so glad that he did too. And you know, it's our privilege to share that light with other people. Again, that's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. We made that word of life into photo and video form, and we put it across all of our socials to make it easy for you to share it with your friends and family. So we'd be honored if you'd go do that. And it's always at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. All right, coming up here, I'm going to tell you how you can deal with depression in a pretty fun way. At least we'll hear the story of how one guy did it. It's cute. I think you're really going to love it, so stick around. Craig was having a really tough day. He didn't know what could get him out of this funk, but he decided to go and try a few things at least. But did anything really work? Here, I want you to hear from him.
The other day, my depression was at an all-time high, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to grab a nice cup of coffee, go for a nice long drive to clear my head. Maybe that'll help. So then I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll grab a bite to eat and wash my pickup truck. Maybe that'll help. I mean, I was almost there, but I was just still like in a funk. I was like, you know what? I know what it is. Windows down, music up, and just keep driving. Maybe that'll help. Still wasn't cutting it. So eventually I just pulled over on the shoulder, and I was like, you know what? Maybe today's just one of them days where I'm going to be bummed out and depressed. So I started scrolling through my phone. And then I seen a woman that had English bulldog puppies for sale in Michigan. And I thought maybe this is Amos, and I'm no longer depressed. He even does this cool thing. Well, he'll like take off walking in a straight line. He'll walk and fart and walk and fart and walk and fart. It's like me, but it's like in a dog form. Seriously, you should try it. They're really cool.
Amos is one cute puppy too. I love that. Hey, that'll put a smile on your face right there. How is it those four-legged furry animals, they just bring us happiness, you know? Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. It's about time for me to wrap up this show, but I want to leave you with one final thought and a reminder as well. Here it is. Don't brood. Get on with living and loving. You don't have forever. That's today's inspiring quote from Leo Buscaglia, and that tells me life's too short to get caught up on the what ifs. Take the next step now. Don't be paralyzed by mistakes of the past. That stuff is done. You got to move forward. So, you can do it. Hey, I'm here along for the ride. So glad to be doing live with you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Well, I'll tell you what, I just wanted to remind you of one final thing. We put the show up as a podcast afterwards. At 10:15, it goes up on our website, and it also goes up over on Spotify. You can find us there now. Lifeline Morning Show Podcast. That's what you search for, and you'll see today's episode right there at the top at about 10:15 this morning. Just wanted to make sure you knew. All right. Well, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning from 6 to 10. Please keep it locked in right here to 88.5 JFM. We'd love to keep you company all day long. And you can stream us when you're away from your radio real easily, by the way. 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go.